So a lot of you have asked about starting your own YouTube business. Maybe you're ready to take the plunge and delve full-time into being a creator. Maybe you just have some views or opinions that you want to share, or want to review some food or restaurants, or maybe you're just having fun on YouTube and realize, hey, you can make some money from doing this too. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk all about starting your own YouTube-based business, some of the things you should be doing right now, and the pitfalls you should be avoiding. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is DemonView. Awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome, thrilling, awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome, thrilling. Awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome. Amazingly cool, awesome, thrilling. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you watching and tuning in, or surfing in, or browsing in, or whatever the term should be. Either way, today we're going to be looking at starting your own YouTube business and what you need to know about taking that plunge. So let's go on with it right after you click those like and subscribe buttons. Look, I work hard on these videos, I produce them all out of my own pocket, and you can help with my expenses by clicking those like and subscribe buttons. And best of all, it doesn't cost you a penny to do so. So help out with this channel, click those buttons today. Like now, like right now. Click. Clickety click. Okay, on with the video. Now, just before I begin, this doesn't just apply to YouTube. I mean, there's other video services out there, and if you have a channel on them, this advice does apply to that too, regardless of what type of channel it is. So it's a broad one, but let's just use YouTube for simplification as an example, okay? So I've had this DemonView channel since December 2019. This December it will be 4 years old, so hey, you can send birthday cards to my P.O. box. You know, for my channel's birthday, not my birthday. Although you can still send me birthday cards if you want to. I mean, it's not my birthday, but hey, it's a thought that counts. However, I really didn't do much with this channel when I first started it. I uploaded a video here and there, and that's mostly because I was just trying to help people with their GoPro camera issues by posting fixes and workarounds that I had discovered. I honestly had no intention of making money from it at the time, or it being a business even, so I didn't put that much effort into making those videos, and honestly I thought that getting people the information was more important than making videos look or sound good. The update process has begun. You can tell with that little icon there, it's flashing away. And that was a huge mistake. If I'd concentrated on making those videos look and sound good from the very beginning, I would have started building followers immediately and been able to monetize my videos sooner. As a result, it actually wasn't until August 2022 that I had enough followers and watch hours to actually monetize my videos. So think about it, that's nearly 3 years going by that I wasn't making a single penny from YouTube. Now, that's what I'd call lesson number one. If you've just started your channel, or you're thinking about starting a channel, from the very first video you should be trying to make it look good, sound good, and putting some thought into the video creation. Now, I won't go through all the technical details about light setup, sound setup, camera setup. That's an entirely different video. But I will stress to you right now that putting in the effort from day one is simply a must. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you should be thinking, well, I don't have a studio space, I don't have a mic, I don't have proper lighting, I don't have a decent camera, so I'll just wait to get all those before I do anything. No, not at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite, and that's lesson number 2. Don't wait to start your channel. Look, my earlier videos were bad, low quality audio, and visually they were pretty horrible, and I didn't have a proper setup of any sort. However, even to this day, I'm still making money off them. Now, not a lot of money. Some people watch them, but those videos are out of date at this point. But like I said, people still watch them. And I still make money if people watch them. Maybe not a lot of money, but still some money. However, the main value of all those clips, if people go back and watch them, is that you can see the progression of the channel. In fact, I love doing this on other channels that I watch. I'll go back and watch their earlier videos, even if they're terrible. And I'll watch how the channel progresses, what changes they made from the beginning to how they compare to the videos that they're making now. I mean, not only is this a bit inspiring to see that even the wildly successful channels had very humble beginnings, but it's also educational in a way. I mean, you can see what they did wrong, how they corrected it, and your channel could be doing this too. People will watch your earlier videos if they like and subscribe. And while they're watching, you're earning. So trust me, it's better to have 200 videos up there earning 50 cents a month than it is to have just one video up on your channel that looks absolutely fantastic and sounds fantastic, but nobody is watching it. So those are 2 basic lessons, well, more like philosophies really, about YouTube and why you should be uploading now, today. However, let's talk about the real advantages of having a YouTube-based business. Now, before I go on, I'm letting you know that what I'm sharing here are my own opinions based upon my experiences. This is not legal or financial advice, nor should it be taken as such. If you're starting a business, you should always consult with a lawyer or an accountant or a tax accountant and make sure you're obeying the local, state, country, and tax laws. With that, on with what I consider to be the main advantages of having a YouTube business. Had to take a break because the National Guard flew overhead. Okay, first up, taxes. No one likes to pay them, but unfortunately you have to. Unless you're a mega rich billionaire, and then apparently you can avoid paying all the taxes you want. And then your rich friends who are politicians can try to prevent laws being put in place to make you pay your fair share. And when that fails, then your rich friends can try to defund the IRS so they have less people and ability to go after rich billionaires. For the rest of us though, yeah, taxes. The rich get richer, and when people start trying to tax them, they make sure there's no staff or people to spend the time going after them. And that's why certain people want to defund the IRS. The more you know. So, yeah, taxes. You're taxed on what you earn, and then if you buy things, you're taxed on what you buy. However, for those of us starting their own business, there's usually tax breaks available for us, and that's why you should be registering your channel as a business, usually as an LLC, and getting an EIN or employer identification number too. It's not that complicated at all, and you can actually do just about all of it online, depending on where you live and what they have set up in your state. So what does all this mean? Well, it means as a business, you can claim tax breaks on your business costs. For instance, the list of the following could be tax deductible. Again, check with your accountant, as not all tax breaks may be available to you. So let's say you create a website and you pay money to a company for hosting that website. Well, that's a business cost and it's tax deductible. Did you create business cards? Tax deductible. Did you buy a webcam and a good microphone to use for your YouTube creations? Tax deductible. Did you buy yourself a new laptop specifically to record your videos and edit them? Tax deductible. Monitors for editing the videos on? Tax deductible. And what about the video software that you're using for editing that you probably pay for monthly? Tax deductible. Printer, printer ink, paper for printers, cameras, mounts, filters, lights, anything you're using solely for your business could potentially be tax deductible. Now, word of warning, that's a pitfall in itself. Anything you claim tax on should solely be used for your business. I have this GoPro camera right here, and I bought this specifically for reviewing for my business, and yes, I even shot footage on it for those reviews. However, I've also used it when I'm traveling, I've used it for my personal use, so this camera here, likely not a tax break as a result. Same with my laptop. I bought this laptop that I'm editing this video on a few years back. I use it for a lot of personal stuff and for editing my videos. So therefore, since I use it for personal use, not a potential tax break. When I get a new laptop, I'll make sure that's 100% dedicated to my business and no personal use whatsoever, and then I'll be able to claim that as a tax break. Now, depending on the type of business you have, there may be additional tax deductions you're entitled to. Traveling vloggers, there could be expenses you can deduct if you're solely traveling for your business. If you go as far as building your own home office or studio, that's a tax deduction. Even if you have a dedicated room in your house, you can deduct part of your mortgage, electricity bills, water bills, and heating bills. And if you have to drive to a shooting location, you can possibly get a deduction on the cost of fuel, wear and tear in your car, as well as certain other things. I mean, this is essentially why people create their YouTube businesses, to basically claim any tax relief that they're legally entitled to and improve their financial situation. However, there is a pitfall here and you need to avoid it, and that is not contacting an accountant or tax professional beforehand. They will give you the very best advice possible and let you know what deductions you're entitled to and which ones you're not entitled to. Because the last thing you want to do is file a false or misleading tax return, even unintentionally, and get audited or fined. I mean, think about the math involved. Let's say an accountant saves you $4,000 in taxes and charges you $1,000 for the consultation. There, you've just saved yourself $3,000. So, what are the other pitfalls to avoid when claiming taxes? Well, honestly, not everything is a tax break. After all, let's say you decide to have a room in your house for making your YouTube videos. Now, your kids have toys in there, your cat's cat boxes in there, your partner stores their extra clothes and totes in that room. Well, then that room is not a dedicated home office used for your business, it's just a room in your house that you happen to film in. So everyone else is using it, you're not entitled to claim a tax deduction for that room. So if you actually have a studio or a room, it has to be specifically used for your video creation only. Let's take the example of you and your family going on holiday. You book the tickets, you book the hotel, you book the rental car, then you review your flight, your hotel, and car for your channel. Tax deduction or not? Well, likely it's not, since you were going on holiday with your family anyway. So had you not reviewed any of this on your channel, you still would have gone on holiday with your family. So not a tax break. You may be able to claim some parts of it, and then you have to start getting into the math about what percentage of your whole vacation was specifically for your channel. But you really want to consult with the tax consultant first, or an accountant, because, you know, you just don't want to do something wrong there. The same with your car. Let's say you're driving to the shops and you put your GoPro camera on the outside of the car to review how well it records as a car camera. Not a tax break. You were going to the shops anyway, you were driving there anyway, so not really anything you could claim. However, if you specifically drove the car for the sole intention of reviewing the camera, and you weren't conducting any other personal use, then it's possible you may take a deduction for fuel, wear and tear of your car, maybe some depreciation. But that's a really fine line to walk, and it's why you get with an accountant, so they can help you maximize your tax breaks and guide you as to what you can do and what you cannot do. And that brings us to the number one thing you should be doing when you start a YouTube business, and that's forming an LLC. An LLC is basically like a protection bubble for your YouTube business. Without an LLC, there's no separation between your business and your own personal finances and everything you own or earn. So let's say you're doing a review for your channel, you're walking along, you accidentally bump into someone and drop this camera on their foot. I know, terrible. Next thing you know, they're suing you for $1 million. They're claiming that they're physically disabled, that they will never be able to walk or work again. They have ongoing pain, suffering, experiencing trauma as a result, and the judge rules in their favor. Well, now you're stuck with $1 million bill that you're going to have to pay, and you have to make those monthly payments to pay off that bill at best. And then you're going to have to remortgage your house just to scrape by, and worse still, even your wages are being garnished by the other party to make sure those payments are being made. And if you can't make those payments, then you have to sell your house to help pay off your debt. You're screwed. Now, same example, except this time you have an LLC. You're doing a review for that LLC business, and the camera that you're using is owned by that LLC. You accidentally walk into someone, drop your camera on their foot, next thing you know, they're suing you for $1 million. They're claiming they're physically disabled, claiming they can't walk or work again, have ongoing pain, suffering, and experiencing trauma as a result. Now they can only sue the LLC, and the LLC only has one asset. This camera. Your camera. And if you've done things properly and followed the rules and kept your personal finances separate from your LLC, that person can only sue the LLC. Your personal finances, property are protected as they are outside of that LLC bubble. And this is the very first thing you should be doing, is forming an LLC as part of your YouTube business. Protect yourself, keep your business and personal lives separate, as well as your money. Now, keeping personal expenses and money separate from each other is really important. So one of the first things you should also do is get yourself a business credit card, debit card, or bank account. Have it dedicated to your business and pay for all of your expenses out of that. Not only does this make it easy to keep track of your profits and spending, but it also shows that separation of business and personal expenses. And that's very important when it comes to tax time, if you ever find yourself on the end of a legal lawsuit, and if you want to show that clear delineation between your personal finances and your LLC. So what other things should you know? Well, if you've got a catchy business name and logo, get them trademarked. The last thing you want to do is start a great channel, start getting loads of followers, and then have someone else turn around and say, hey, now I think I'll use that channel name and logo myself, I'll get them trademarked, and now you need to stop using them. Yeah, sure, you could go to court, pay a shed load of expenses, and spend a lot of time fighting with them, and who knows, after a few years, the court may finally rule on your side. But that's money and time you're not going to get back. Even if you tried suing the other party for court costs, they can turn around and say, I was operating under an LLC myself, and the only asset I have is a printer. You're screwed and on the hook for your legal costs. So make that investment now, get your channel name and logo trademarked. Don't forget that's also a business expense, so it may be tax deductible too. Again, check with an accountant, they will let you know. So if you have an LLC and trademarked your logo and business name, does that mean you're all covered and life is merry? Well, no, unfortunately it leaves you the target of people who just want your money. Allow me to explain. After I started my business and had it registered as an LLC in the state of Oregon, I got what looked like a bill in the post. And it was for about $2,000, and it was telling me I needed to register my business and keep it in a business database. The thing is, this wasn't any type of official or government database. This was a private individual maintaining a private database and asking me to pay them $2,000 to maintain my information in their Excel file or Word file or filing cabinet in their mom's basement. In fact, there's no real definition of database given. It could have been my business name scrawled on a piece of paper and then thrown in a garbage can. And just kept there. That's all a database could be. And you will get these. You'll get lots of these. It's perfectly legal for people to send you these offers since they include a tiny, tiny, tiny little disclaimer in the fine print hidden on the page saying that this isn't actually an invoice for services carried out and they're not affiliated with the government. You will get lots of these and you should not fall for them. If you have a trademarked name or logo, you're going to get letters like this. You might get a letter like I did last week telling me I had to pay $1,400 just to file my trademark name or logo in their database, which again means nothing. Now, I hate to think that people have been fooled by this sort of thing, but unfortunately there are probably people out there who probably have been. So you need to watch out for that. Do not respond to these letters. Certainly do not pay them any money for this. This will not help your business in any way whatsoever, and all you're actually doing is giving away your money to complete strangers for free. If you have money to spare, try joining my members page or buying some of my merch. At least that way, you're getting something out of it, okay? Avoid the scam artists. It's the best thing you can do. Look, when it comes to starting your own YouTube business, the simple fact is this is a great way to make money. It's also a stepping stone into starting your own full-time business. However, unless you're willing to explore all the advantages and claim the tax breaks that you're legally entitled to, you're basically just leaving money on the table and doing yourself out of that money. Like I said, when I started this channel, I had no intention of making money from it. Now that I'm making money from it, I honestly wish I had a time machine so I could go back in time and do things properly even sooner. And someday, trust me, you're going to feel the exact same way, and when you do, you'll wish you had done things properly sooner rather than later. So hey, there you have it, an overview of starting your own business YouTube channel and the advantages of doing so. Now this was a light, not too in-depth video, and there were a ton of things I haven't covered. After all, I didn't want to make this video an hour long. So if you have questions, if there's anything you want to know, feel free to ask in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. I mean, maybe you want to know what trademark services to use or avoid. Maybe you're this close to starting a channel, but you're not really sure if you'd pull the trigger. Or maybe you're already established, but you're wondering how to increase profits. Whatever your question, leave them down below in the comments. I will try to answer them in a follow-up video. In the meantime, I really hope you found this information helpful. I appreciate you watching this video, and I really hope you clicked those like and subscribe buttons. So until next time, cheerio.